So I just wanted to come on here to let you all know that the Ellingtons got COVID-19. I feel at this point it was bound to happen. The numbers in Los Angeles are so high right now, it just seems like everyone is getting it here. And we were no different, and we have no idea where we got it. I mean, we've been careful, we've been wearing our masks, social distancing. It was just one of those things that we couldn't outrun it any longer. I do want to say that we are completely fine, so I don't want like anybody to worry or anything like that. We are fine, we are good. Thank the Lord, our symptoms have not been that bad. We have not had to go to the hospital. We have been able to just stay home and let the thing run its course. And also the boys, Judah and Asher, have been completely fine. No symptoms whatsoever. Lucas was the first one to have symptoms. He woke up one day and said he was kind of feeling like he was getting a cold. We weren't too worried about it at the time because it seemed like just a cold, and he had that for a few days. On day 3 he lost his taste and smell, and that was kind of like our trigger. That was like, maybe we should go get tested. And on that day I also woke up with a headache and kind of a scratchy throat, so I was like, yeah, we should test you because we need to know what this is, what we're working with, and that way we need to know if we should be quarantined. So we did. We got tested and it was COVID-19. As far as our symptoms go, Lucas had more of, like I said, he was feeling like he had a cold. He had headache, congestion. When it hit me, it was more like I felt like I had the flu. Body aches, headache, low energy. I was dizzy, I was nauseous, never threw up or anything, just kind of like queasy feeling. And then for me on day 5, I lost my taste and smell, and we are still at that point where we cannot taste or smell anything, and it is terrible. I mean, the symptoms could be so much worse. So I mean, I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, I'll take it. But it just takes the joy out of eating completely. Lucas just said, he was like, I haven't had pizza in a week, which is so crazy. If you know us, you know, well, if you know Lucas, you know he loves pizza. And the thought of pizza just isn't that exciting because what's the point? You can't taste it. It'll just taste like you're eating nothing. Like all you do when you eat is you just feel the texture. There's no flavor. It doesn't matter like what you put in it, you can't taste it. If you know me, you know I love Starbucks, and I haven't been to Starbucks because what's the point? I can't taste it. It'll just taste like hot water if I drink it. And I don't want to spend $5 on a coffee that is just going to taste like hot water. So I have not been to Starbucks. So I will say, if anything, this is saving us some money because we have not been eating out and not going to Starbucks, because what's the point? It's a waste of money. The first few days that I had it, my head just felt like it was on fire, like an intense headache. And then that went away, which I will say is the weird thing about this virus, is it kind of seems like things come in waves. You have some symptoms and they get really bad, and then they kind of go away and you're like, oh, great, I'm getting better. Nope, you've got a new wave with new symptoms that you have to deal with, and then they kind of go away and you're like, great, I'm getting better. Nope, a new wave with new symptoms. And it's like you have good days and bad days, and it's just all very confusing, and it's not really like any other virus that I've ever had. But after the really intense headaches, that went away and I was like, whew, that's done. But no, then I got the really intense body aches, and for me it was in both of my legs, and it was then like my legs were on fire and I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit comfortably, I couldn't bend at all, I couldn't sleep because it hurt so bad. It was just like body aches when you have the flu, you know, body aches, but it was like that times 10, just like terrible body aches. But those two things I feel like have been, for me, the worst symptoms that I've had. And I will say, I do want to say that everybody's experience with COVID seems to be so different. So I don't want you to take this video and kind of say, okay, well, that's what my symptoms will be, because you don't know. That's the thing with COVID. You don't know how your body's going to react to it. You know, don't take my experience as what would possibly be your experience, because that is not going to be the case probably at all. And also, just to go along with that, realize that I am not a doctor, and by no means anything that I say, I don't mean to take it as how you should treat yourself. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. This is just how we've been dealing with it. To go along with that, how we have been treating our symptoms, just staying home, a lot of rest when we can. I'm so glad that our boys have been healthy through this all, but it is also hard when me and Lucas are both sick and we have two healthy boys that want to run around and play. But along with rest, we have upped our dosage of vitamin C and vitamin D, because we have heard and read that those are very important. Lucas was in the very beginning, he did take some zinc, which I've also heard does help. Again, not doctors, this is just how we are treating ourselves. And then to deal with the pain, we had some Tylenol, severe cold and flu. Lucas was able to take the Tylenol and pretty much feel good. Symptoms pretty much gone when he was on the Tylenol. I'm still nursing Asher, so I try to be very cautious about what I put into my body. And I'm just not a big Tylenol. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, so I just try to let it be if I can. And even with this, I wrote it out as long as I could, and I did end up a couple of times taking some Tylenol because the pain was just so intense. But I will say that the Tylenol really kicked that pain, and I felt so much better after I took it. Like I said, we are quarantining ourselves. Obviously, that is the right thing to do, and that is what we are doing. But it has been hard. We live in a very small space, and we have two small boys, and so quarantining isn't always easy, but we have tried our best to occupy ourselves and them as much as we can. Luckily and thankfully, the boys both got Amazon Fire tablets for Christmas. You guys each got your own tablet. So that has kept them entertained a lot of the time. When this is over, we're definitely going to have to detox them a little bit from the screens and the tablets. But I'm thankful for it right now because we just haven't had the energy and we can't go anywhere. So the tablets have been a very useful tool for us this past week. But along with that, I mean, just the normal, we try, to play games, puzzles, books, just anything we can to keep the boys entertained. And one thing that was a really big hit, we got this new chair and it came in a giant box. The box has been such a big hit with the boys. It is big enough that they both can fit in it comfortably, and so we got out some crowns and they've been coloring all along the walls of the box.
Hey Mommy, I gotta go pee-pee.
Okay.
You can keep going, just go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
There's Asher.
Hey Lucas, come here. Tell us about your COVID experience.
I don't fit.
Let me get up.
My COVID experience was not terrible. It felt like a cold. I've had worse colds, and I've had not as worse colds. But the biggest thing was the loss of the smell and taste. And then the random, leg and body aches. But that's been my experience. Okay, sorry to sabotage.
Yep.
Alright, let's go.
Other stuff that we've done in quarantine, we had a flashlight party one night. What are you doing, Judah? This is actually my closet right here, and I did have some time to clean it out and throw a bunch of stuff out, so that was nice. It looks real nice in there. I won't show you. It's not that nice, but it is nice. But we are still in quarantine. Lucas has a couple more days left of his, and then I would have a couple more days after that. They say 10 days after you first experience symptoms, so we have a few more days to go, and then we are good to go as long as we're not experiencing symptoms still. But we're doing good. I mean, our symptoms right now are very mild. I can still feel it kind of like in my head, but it's not terrible at all. Very mild. But I just wanted to come here and give you an update on our lives, because that's what we do on this channel, is we show our lives, and we haven't really shown this part of our life, you know, because we've been sick and you don't really feel like vlogging when you're sick. But I did want to update you, let you guys know what's going on. We are good. We are almost healthy. We're getting there. Hopefully you guys are staying safe and healthy out there. Obviously COVID is a very real thing. But don't let it get to you. Don't let the fear of it get to you. We love you guys, and hopefully in the next vlog we will feel better and be out of quarantine, and things will be looking up for us. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.